Hello, friends. My name is host Eric, and welcome to Talking with Famous People on another episode of Why Olden Days People Were Weird Costumes, Masks, and Homemadiness edition. So, this guy obviously is wearing a mask that he made himself, but as you can see, it's not really homemade in a conventional sense of, it's like everything there he bought. He got a paper bag. He got these little things that you put cupcakes into, and you got a paper plate there. So it's not like he made any of the things that he made it out of, right? So this is homemade, like maybe it's 1950s. Now these things, I don't know where they got those masks or what they're dressed up as, these children. Most of the pictures here are going to be of adults in masks because I have a separate video in mind for why olden days people were weird about their kids. But these masks are, like, I think the mask to the left, you could say, might be a known character. Like, it seems to have a bulbous nose, sort of a Elmer Fudd kind of thing going on. The mask to the right seems to be kind of like a old school tribal mask. Now this group of people got dressed up for Halloween. As you can see, two of them have tastefully, three of them have tastefully elected to costume themselves as black people. And those costumes, the one on the far left there, on the far right, probably wouldn't pass social muster today, I suspect. But they are scary, and if you didn't know the sort of American history of the South or whatever, you might just think that they were just scary demons or something. I don't know. This picture is fairly famous on the internet, I guess. I have no idea what's going on here. Like, okay, the car says 1968. They're all holding hands for some reason. They've got their Disney masks on. You can't really see what's going on in the background because the smoke obscures the background. It feels like a photoshopped picture to me. But I don't know, I thought I'd include it because it's kind of famous on the internet. Now this is some real old school Halloween. I'm quite confident that kid just looks terrified because he just happens to snap the picture at the wrong moment, not actually terrified. But you see, those are real homemade costumes. Like, that guy, he made his head with his horns out of, like, by knitting it or something. Or maybe his wife knitted it. Or, I don't even know what gender those people are. But you can just sort of see it's not done by somebody who's really an expert costume maker, right? And that's really their only part of their costume. The rest of their stuff just seems like warm clothes. Why he's holding those sticks, nobody's really sure. Okay, what is going on here, right? This child's in the hospital. I understand Santa coming to visit her, bringing a doll. Santa's notorious for providing dollies to little girls for Christmas. But why did he invite these two horrific clowns with their giant heads? They're not Christmas themed. They clash with the Christmas theme, and they're terrifying. These two, why are they even wearing masks? They just look like they are for a day on the town. And it looks like this mask on the left here it's got a built-in cigarette, maybe? And she's carrying a basket of fruit. If you think about it, in the modern times, have you ever really encountered anyone carrying a basket of fruit? People stopped carrying baskets of fruits about 1952, I think. She seems perfectly happy with this with this horrific clown here. I guess, hilarious. His jaw's been dislocated in terrifying fashion. Now these are some homemade costumes, right? It's like whoever made those masks, they just good enough. It looks weird, that's all we're looking for here. We're not trying for anything in particular, just make you look weird. And then what about the outfits? Well, it would appear the ones on either side are dressed up in Indian clothes, Native American clothes, because they've got little things hanging down. I don't know what those things are called, but I don't know what that's called with clothes when they have those little things hanging down, like a little skirt of draperies or something around it. I don't know what that's called, but it's like that's a textbook Native American costume thing. But then why do they have these weird faces on, right? It doesn't make any sense. This one in the middle is sort of this classic French Harlequin character, but then what's with the deformed face? These three. Okay, this one, I can tell what she's dressed up as. She's dressed up as a flapper girl, right? But what in the world is this person dressed up as? She's dressed up as a guy with a tie with a squinty eyes face. This is a clown, right? I get clown to the right, flapper to the left. What in the world is the one in the middle supposed to be? I don't know. Here's like 1920s era costumes, and you can see the fake beard was popular back in the 20s. We've got a cat. We've got, I guess this is a mouse over here to the left between the two bearded fellows, both of whom have fake beards on. In between them, front and center there, I think that's maybe a scarecrow, or I don't know what they're supposed to be. I think that the ones with the beards are supposed to be like pioneer explorer types, like Davy Crockett's or whatever. And then what about the one on the far right? What is that supposed to be? It looks kind of like Creature from the Black Lagoon, but this far predates Creature from the Black Lagoon. I like the big heads. I think the big heads are they make me think of Attack on Titan, you know. This was based what Attack on Titan was based on. This is a real life Attack on Titan. This is just if I ran into this group of kids someplace, I'd assume they were like anime super kids, had powers and stuff. I'd just be like, okay, you guys must be fighting crime. I'm out of here. They just look badass, kind of. The one on either end, both of them look pretty badass. The girl with the horns is just kind of like got this knowing smile, and then Donkey Head reminds me of the guy from that cartoon I watched. I just kind of stopped watching because it's dumb. But now they've got the Manghang Train sequence story arc. I forget what it's called, but that guy wears something like that. A boar's head, though. These three poor people who look like witches, but you'll notice something. The third of them actually is the only one who's an actual witch. She looks like a real witch. Number one looks like a librarian. That's going left to right. Number two looks like a housewife or, mom. Number four looks like the dean of women's studies. Number three looks like an actual witch. Okay, that costume on the costume on the kid in the front, you're not even trying. You just got like some fabric and just wrapped it around his head and put some holes. It's like, that's not even anything. And then the one on the right, you just wrapped her up in a rug. That's not a costume. The guy on the left, at least, maybe a mouse. The one in the middle, I don't know what it is, but at least those are sort of costumes. Okay, I like this a lot because it proves what I've long suspected, that La Luchadora originated here in America, in the swimming pools of our backyards, among women who wrestled just for their own kicks. This is a good picture. I like it. I'm guessing the two ladies, those are costumes they're wearing. They're not just dressed normally, although it would seem maybe they're dressed normally for the period. The ones they're standing on, those are definitely costumes. One of them, it appears to be a cat, and the other one, possibly a pig. But you'll notice that there's nothing about their bodies that make them actually look like that. It just looks like they're wearing oversized, kind of soft cloth. I like this costume a lot. I want to be that for Halloween. I like the photo a lot too. I mean, the way she's looking up to the corner like that. But now, this gets my all praises due. 1920s for creativity and everything. That's a great costume. Humpty Dumpty. Of course, where is she sitting? Not in a chair. No, on a wall. What's going on here? The Day All the Ducks Became Gay is what the title of this song is. Alright, now, you got your clown. Okay, there's too many elements here. You've got the feeding of babies. You've got what appear to be leopards or cougars or something. You've got, like, starlet of the 50s girl with the perfect hair and stuff. And you've got a clown. It's too many disparate elements. This is a mishmash of extroverted intuition. Somebody needed to do a little editing here. And that's going to do it for my episode on why olden days people were weird, part 2, costumes and masks.